Western riding is currently the world's fastest growing equestrian discipline, and although it clearly owes much to the cowboys of the North American West, in recent years it has developed into a world-class sport, recognised by the FEI and offering levels of prize money second only to show jumping.
Every year there are more and more shows, more and more competitors. Here in England also, it's every show that it seems like there's more people doing it in more classes. It's just phenomenal the way it's growing.
This event is the largest of its type ever staged in the UK, and it has attracted riders from all over Europe to compete in two principal classes, Western Pleasure and Reining.
Reining involves 4 major maneuvers: circling, stops, spins and lead changes, and so we're looking to see how well the riders do them and how willfully guided the horse is throughout the maneuvers. The crowd gets to be involved and they can yell, and when they see something that excites them, they get the opportunity to cheer and have fun with it.
Reining might be a crowd pleaser, but like most of the Western classes, its origins lie in the purely practical.
Everything is based on exactly what cowboys needed from their horses 200-300 years ago. They needed a horse that was obedient, very obedient, could turn on a sixpence, could be ridden with one hand only, and you have to train your horse to do all of those things. So you can stop them without touching the reins, purely by aids such as your weight and leg pressure.
The reiners tend to be pretty small horses. The bigger they are, the more there is to move around, and they need to be really light-footed and quick.
It should look like they are doing it because they want to do it and they're enjoying doing it, and so it should look effortless from the rider.
These horses, the breeding programs over the past 25 years, they're born knowing how to do a lot of this stuff, so it makes it easier for the trainers.
If the Reining class is the closest Western gets to dressage, then what we know as showing is most definitely Western Pleasure.
It's judged on which horse would be the most pleasurable to ride. They want them to go slowly, quietly, on loose rein. They judge them on the way they move, that they have the correct paces, the correct beats at each of the 3 gaits: walk, jog, and lope. The jog being a slow trot, and the lope being a slower canter.
Western Pleasure is not only a sport, it's also a kind of art.
Although everyone was keen to impress on me that any horse can be taught to go the Western way, there's clearly one breed that is everyone's favourite.
Quarter horses, without a doubt. They are bred for the job. Other horses can do the Western disciplines, but the quarter horses is actually bred for the job.
I particularly like the way the horses are so laid back, and they'll do pretty much whatever you ask them to.
They're really good-minded horses. They're quiet. That comes, once again, from back on the range. When they weren't doing work, they needed to stand and be quiet. And so if they wouldn't, well, the ranchers wouldn't breed from them again. And so through hundreds of years of breeding, they've bred a really quiet horse.
This is called a bozal. As you can see, he can go when he wants. And we need to trust in each other.
These horses are so trainable, so flexible, and for people like me, that I don't think of myself as disabled, but other people would do, they are so ideal.
I found it very easy to get into, yeah. Yeah, my mum's always ridden Western, so it was easy. I love it.
I went with my wife for a Western holiday and rather enjoyed it. Bought a couple of Western saddles while we were there and bought them back and started riding our English horses Western and gradually got into it.
Originally I left South Africa in '96 to come and pursue a career in polo. We used some of the techniques that are used in Western riding to start our young polo ponies, and I guess the switch was just made.
And is it easier to train someone who's ridden or someone who's never sat on a horse before?
It's easier if they've ridden some. It doesn't matter whether they've ridden English or Western. It's a little easier if they haven't done the English. They tend to use their legs a lot more if they've done the English.
One thing is clear, these riders are fiercely proud of their sport. Mention cowboy films and line dancing at your peril.
Sure, we got the head and we got that kind of stuff, but It's just sport.